Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cougar Field on the campus of SIUE. We're on ESPN Plus today for OVC softball, and it is a battle of heavyweights in the Ohio Valley Conference here in Edwardsville. Our weather track brought to you by Field Turf. It's 74 and sunny, and by the way, it's going to get into the 80s today. My name's Randy Molman. Dan Rodeer's alongside, and Dan, it's a beautiful day for a doubleheader.
Could not ask for a better day for a doubleheader. Arguably a better weekend for a three-game series. The OVC as a whole is in for a treat. We here at Cougar Field even more so.
While they introduce the starting lineups, let's check out the OVC conference standings. And when I say heavyweights, I'm not kidding. Both of these teams come in. First, let's give you the starting pitchers, brought to you by Jostens, the official recognition company of the OVC for Rylan Gick. She's got a 4-3 record, 61 innings, 4.82 earned run average. Opponents hitting .283. This is her 9th start this year. And Michaela Anderson, once again, the OVC pitcher of the week, has not allowed an earned run this year.
Hey, she's tied for first in the nation in ERA.
Yeah, I would imagine so. 15 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Opponents hitting just .113 against Michaela Anderson. Your OVC standings look like this. SIUE and Eastern Illinois battling today for first place. They're tied for first, coming in 6-0. Likely the winner of this series will be in first place all by themselves.
I'd be very surprised if either of these teams escape this weekend undefeated.
We'll now take a quick timeout, come back with the starting lineups and the first pitch here at Cougar Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, all who are able, please.
Hidradenitis suppurativa. And the pain that comes with it? It's a part of me, and I know how to manage it. With Bimzelx, I'm back to fewer HS symptoms.
Only Bimzelx targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation. Many saw at least a 50% reduction, with some even seeing 75% reduction. Fast relief of HS symptoms for results that last. And many felt less pain. Serious side effects like suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections and lowered ability to fight them, liver problems, and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or fevers, chills, muscle aches, or cough occur, or you've had a vaccine or plan to. Before starting, get checked for infections, tuberculosis, and liver problems.
Start to say, I'm back to fewer HS symptoms.
Ask your dermatologist about Bimzelx.
We're back on ESPN. OVC softball today. SIUE at home against Eastern Illinois, the top 2 teams in the OVC, both undefeated in conference play at 6-0. Michaela Anderson has taken the circle for the Cougars. She is the reigning OVC pitcher of the week. That's now twice back-to-back weeks for the Cougar right-hander. And she is getting her warm-up tosses. Here are the starting lineups, or the batting order, I should say, for Eastern Illinois, brought to you by Rawlings, the #1 softball brand worldwide and widely recognized as the mark of a pro. Proud to be the official softball of the OVC. It's Wambolt, Stuyverson, and Frederick. Hatton, Stuyverson, and Hance.
Stuyverson twice
Ullman,
over.
Dyson, and Marshall. Actually playing third base. It is... I'm going
to say it is Stuyverson.
Wambolt, Stuyverson, Frederick, Hatton, Ullman, Hance, Griffin, Dyson, Marshall is the starting lineup for Eastern Illinois.
Before this game started, I took a little bit of a prediction before we got the actual lineups, and there are only a couple changes for Eastern Illinois, and it's not in terms of who's playing, it's really just in terms of where they are batting.
Leading off, number 18, Chloe Wambolt.
So leading off, it'll be Chloe Wambolt. Stands in from the left side. Wambolt comes in hitting .355 this year. Cougar defense in at the corners. Here's the first pitch. Just missed outside. Michaela Anderson, the sophomore right-hander. Last year, 18 games, 12 starts, a 3.68 earned run average as a freshman. There's a strike, 1-1 to Wambolt. Wambolt, the junior. She starts at shortstop today and wears number 18, Eastern Illinois, in the white uniforms with the blue and black piping. Swinging a foul back to the screen, 1-2. Eastern Illinois has won 7 straight games, including a non-conference win over Lipscomb. SIUE has won 6 straight conference games, and their 2 losses mixed in are to non-conference opponents, Big Ten's Minnesota and at St. Louis last week.
It's an interesting couple of weeks, or really 4 straight weeks where they play conference opponent, pretty notable either regional opponent or power conference opponent. They played in order Minnesota and St. Louis the last 2 weeks, and then they will play Mizzou and St. Louis the next 2 weeks.
Here's the 2-2. Outside, full count. Anderson, 15 innings this year, has not allowed an earned run. Anderson, 6 hits allowed, no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Of the 6 hits, 2 have been for extra bases. Ripped down the third baseline, slicing out of play.
I was really surprised when I saw Anderson getting the start today, not because any reason other than she's had limited innings pitched. Second start, 5th appearance total. Her and Kiana Villa mostly coming in relief, whereas I was assuming Volpert would get the start in this first game. We may see her later.
And what a luxury. That's a foul ball, but it's run down by the Cougar left fielder, Kaylin Fahey. And there's 1 out here in the first. That's the luxury the Cougars have, by the way. We're going to give you that defensive lineup, brought to you by Kentucky Tourism. Come explore your new Kentucky home.
Not a whole lot of changes for SIUE. Fahey, Harville, and Limburger left to right in the outfield. Infield is as usual.
Garza, Torres, Woodward, and Stairs, third to first. The battery is Anderson and Duran. Ball high. And it is 1-0. I was gonna say, Dan, that the luxury the Cougars have is they have 3 pitchers you could consider to start the series.
4 now with Anderson.
With Michaela Anderson, and Villa was primarily out of the pen last year, and looks like she's in that role again this year. Yep. on the weekend series for home games or for the conference games. But when you have Anderson and you have Volpert and you have Avery Arwood, you have 3 potential starters for every series, and that's off of Limburger's glove at the track in right field. And sliding into third is Livy Stiverson.
Got lucky out and right, Limburger.
That's going to be an E9 officially. Limburger tracked that ball and had a glove on it. She was there to make the catch. And it deflected off of her glove for an error, and that brings in Alicia Frederick. First pitch from Anderson. Misses. Frederick is the right fielder for Eastern Illinois. Stands in from the left side. Frederick from Arthur, Illinois, a junior. Transferred in from Parkland College. Before last season, played in 51 games, started 50, mostly at second base, hit .229. Coming off a 4 RBI game against Lindenwood on the 14th. She also had a 4 RBI game against Moorhead State back on March 8th, and now she hits with runners in scoring position. A runner, I should say, at third base. That Stiverson reached on the Limburger error. Here's the next. There's a strike. 3-0 pitch piped down the middle by Michaela Anderson. Frederick hitting .262 this year. She's driven in 14. 3 balls, 1 strike on a beautiful day. Wind blowing out to left at about 5 miles an hour. Ball 4, and that is a one-out walk, and so Eastern Illinois has runners on the corners with one down here in the top of the first.
It's one of the issues SIUE's had in terms of walks, either A, with runners already on board or with 2 outs. Error or 2 last week that we saw against Morehead State, where they were fortunate to escape that series with a sweep, not because of the team they were playing or their own notoriety, but because of the issues they had throughout the games, walks, errors, etc.
Abby Hatton, the sophomore, stands in, looks at a ball. Michaela Anderson trying to find it here early. Hatton, 262, 2 homers, 16 RBIs. Coach Sorden wants to come out and chat with Michaela Anderson and kind of settle her down a little bit.
Understandably so. Coach
Ben Sorden in his 4th season, and he has already 2 30-win seasons in his last 3 for SIUE. And this Eastern Illinois team has sort of been a thorn in the Cougars' side in the OVC tournament.
Last season, as a whole, they were a thorn in each other's sides. It was a stellar season for both teams. The only issues either of them had were either A, with the weather, or B, with each other. And there were a few exceptions overall between that. In the regular season, SIUE won the series. They won 2-1 during the regular season. That was 2 or 3 weeks before the conference tournament. And then come conference tournament, in the upper final, SIUE loses. Lower final, SIUE beats SEMO to make it to the final. They win the first game, but because of the bracket reset, they then had to win the second game. They didn't. It was a 1-0 loss in 8 innings.
And in 2023, Eastern Illinois played SIUE in the OVC Tournament Championship, and the Panthers won 2-0 in that game. So 2 of the last 3 years, there's a strike, 1-1. The Cougars have lost in the OVC Tournament Championship game to this Eastern Illinois squad.
The total run difference between those 3 games in the OVC Championships? 1.
1.
Uno.
Here's the 1-1 from Anderson. Ripped, foul. It's 1-2. Runners at the corners, 1 out. We're in the top of the first of a doubleheader today, opening the series between the top 2 teams in the OVC, both undefeated. I think it's safe to say one or both of these teams might come out of this weekend with a loss.
I'd say I'd be surprised if either of these teams escape today undefeated, much less this weekend.
You make a good point. There's a foul out of play. What you're saying here, let me see if I clarify this. What you're saying is one team will lose this game today.
And I think one team will lose the game after that as well. As a wise Jason Church, the manager of WSIE, once said, this one's going to come down to pitching and hitting.
I would say and runs. There's a shot into left field, but it's right at Fahey. Runner tags. Here comes the play at the plate. She is safe. Slid in under the tag. Will Coach Sorden challenge? He's going to, I think. What a throw by Fahey. 1 hop to the SIUE catcher, Ashley Duran, or Abby Duran, I should say. Ashley Duran, and she put the glove down, but the home plate umpire saying, that's home plate umpire Kevin Wallace saying that Stuyvesant slid in under the tag of Ashley Duran, the catcher, the freshman. So we're going to take this time and review it. What a play by Fahey, coming in, catching the line drive, all of her momentum swinging forward, and she threw a strike to the catcher Duran for a bang-bang play, and we will see after review if the player is out. And here is the replay. Here comes the throw. Ooh, it's a high tag.
That's about as close as it gets.
If you look at Stuyvesant's left leg, she's
got the foot. That looks safe to me.
But was the glove on the arm as she was sliding? Watch Duran's glove when it hits. Okay, close play. The call is confirmed. A sacrifice fly. And an RBI for Abby Hatton. It's 1-0 Eastern Illinois. That was close. That'll bring up Sophia Ullman, the catcher, the junior, hitting .228, a homer and 9 RBIs. Ullman stands in from the right side, runner on first, 2 out. That is an unearned run charged to Anderson, so she has still not allowed an earned run this year. Stuyvesant reached on the error by Limburger. First baseman Jesselyn Stairs is a couple of steps in on the right side. Here's the 0-1. Good pitch on the outside corner at the knees. And after the mound visit from Coach Ben Sorden, Michaela Anderson seems to have found a little bit of rhythm in the strike zone. No balls, 2 strikes on Ullman. Runner on first, 2 down. That's ripped down the line. That's a fair ball into the corner. Around third, trying to score. Here comes the throw from Torres. Safe. It's 2-0 Eastern Illinois on the double by Sophia Ullman.
It's another good piece of base running for Eastern Illinois as well. Off and running on contact with 2 outs, understandably so. And you could see over at third base, the winding wheel was on. She was sent before she reached second base to go home.
Yeah, from the beginning, co-head coach Dan Paulson down at third, he was waving at the minute that ball dropped inside the foul line.
I think he would have sent her even if it was foul, just out of principle.
Mo Hance now stands in, grounds it to second. Fielding it is Woodward, and that ends the rally, but not before Eastern Illinois pushes 2 across. On 1 base hit, they leave a runner. There was an error. We head to the bottom of the first. The Panthers strike first here in Edwardsville.
For a local getaway that feels like a world of its own, escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
There's the replay of the RBI double for Eastern Illinois as they take a 2-0 lead. We are in the bottom of the first, and the starting pitcher for Eastern Illinois, Rylan Gick, has been gifted a 2-run lead. It's a 1-1 count now on Abby Harville. It'll be Abby Harville, Justine Torres, and Kaylin Fahey for SIUE. If anyone gets on base, it'll be the catcher, the cleanup hitter, the freshman, Ashley Duran. Here comes the 1-1 from Gick, spins outside, 2-1. Harville comes in hitting .300, a homer, 7 RBIs, 7 doubles, leads the team. She also leads the team in hits with 24. She also has very good speed. Two balls, 2 strikes on Harville. Cougars in a hole early, bottom of the first, down 2-0. Gick looks in, delivers outside, good eye.
That's what you need out of a leadoff hitter. Patience at the plate, build a count.
Leads the team in runs scored, hits, doubles, and stolen bases. Here comes the payoff pitch from Rylan Gick. Off the hands, loop down the left field line, running into foul territory and dropping it is the left fielder, Mo Nance. She slightly misjudged it. Had to make an over-the-shoulder attempt when she got to the ball. And so Harville has another chance with a full count.
Better be lucky than good sometimes.
Swing and a miss, and Gick fires it past Harville for a strikeout, 1 down in the first.
Taking another look at the batting orders. This too is presented by Rawlings. SIUE, the same as really expected. At the bottom actually is the only change you'll see. Barrera is not in today. Everybody kind of shifts down for the re-entrance of Ashley Duran. As it's Harville, Torres, Fahey, Duran, Duncan, Woodward, and then Stairs, Arissa Garza, and Harley Limburger.
This
who will
is
play right field.
Justine Torres, 231, no homers, 4 RBIs. Just 2 extra base hits this year for the Cougars' #2 hitter. The shortstop, sophomore, took over the starting role as a freshman last year. Torres, 52 starts all season, 273, 8 doubles, 13 RBIs, and for a freshman, those are good numbers.
Really, any numbers you get as a freshman are good numbers.
Rise ball high. Oh, and it clipped her on the arm, and so a hit by pitch. And Justine Torres reaches.
Take a look at the defense for Eastern Illinois. At 2 is brought to you by Kentucky Tourism. Come explore your new Kentucky home. Dan Paulson, one of the 2 head coaches for Eastern Illinois, married to his other co-head coach. That feels like a conflict of interest, but it'll be Hans Dyson and Frederick in the outfield, Stuyvesant, Wemble, Marshall, and Hatton on the infield left to right. Gick and Griffin are the battery mates.
Here's the first pitch to the #3 hitter. That's a drive into center field. Ranging back, can't make the catch. They'll get the ball in. That was the center fielder, Dyson, chasing it down. It clipped off the top of her glove, and the Cougars have runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Kaylin Fahey gave it a ride.
Fahey had a home run last weekend as well. Good piece of contact and really good piece of fielding to even get back there and make contact with the ball off the tip of her glove. A difficult play in the outfield. Mary Beth Dyson nearly caught it and actually forced Justine Torres to hold up between 1st and 2nd. Torres would have scored if she didn't have to put on the brakes. Credit where it's due for Dyson.
And that's a smart running play, too, by Torres. You don't want to be the lead runner with 1 out, down 2 already, and get caught on the base paths. You got to make sure that center fielder makes the catch.
And you know if she catches that, even if you're almost standing on 2nd, you're going to have time to get back.
Yes.
So you might as well extend the possibility while still not risking too much without standing on first base.
Off the hands, fouled back. This is the freshman catcher for SIUE, Ashley Duran. Duran hitting .340 this year. Leads the team in batting average as a freshman. 1 homer, 6 RBIs. And the key stat here, she gets on base. She's walked 11 times and struck out just 5.
Always talk about strikeout to walk ratios for pitchers.
Ripped into left. That's going to sail over the left fielder's head. 2 runs are going to score. The Cougars have tied it in the bottom of the 1st.
Had this conversation last week. SIUE is not a team that usually gets activated early. It is really fun to watch when they do, and arguably more fun to watch when they do it to bring the team back. Eastern Illinois, the early runs plural in the top of the 1st inning, and our first frame looks more like a bowling score than it does a baseball score, albeit a bad bowling score.
That's Dan Rodier. My name's Randy Molman, and to your point, the Cougars against Moorhead State, you were on the call that entire weekend. Yep. The Cougars came back either in the 6th or the 7th in all 3 games. Oh, Dan's doing, for those that can't see us, Dan's doing the 6-7. Is that still a thing?
No, it's not.
Fouled off, strike 1.
I did it entirely satirically.
Here's Reagan Duncan. Sophomore, 298, 8 RBIs this year. Runner at 2nd after back-to-back doubles tie the game. Up and in, ball 1.
This was a number that I had written down last week. I think the run totals in the first 3 innings at the beginning of the Moorhead State game were 53-19. SIUE was trailing in the first 3 combined innings in every game they had played.
Today they match the 2 that Eastern Illinois put on the board in the top of the 1st. Rylan Gick, her last conference game, she had a great start. March 14th, last weekend against Lindenwood. Complete game win, gave up an earned run. 6 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. She's already given up more earned runs today in the first inning than she did against Lindenwood last week. There's a foul back to the screen.
Hey, Michaela Anderson gave up more earned runs today than she has all season. More runs.
She gave up 2 runs. However, because of the error by Limburger, those were unearned. So technically, Michaela Anderson still has not given up an earned run. Up and in, full count now on Reagan Duncan.
By the way, that Eastern Illinois Lindenwood series is a great watch if you have free time after the today ends. First game of that series, 12-11 in 14 innings. Total game time was 4.5 hours.
We talked about the Cougars coming back against Morehead State. Lindenwood, or Eastern Illinois, did that against Lindenwood a couple of times as well in that series. That's a drive to deep right. Back at the track, making the catch is the right fielder, Frederick, and on to third goes Duran on the fly out by Duncan, but Duncan hit that on the nose to the opposite field.
Number 21, Betsy Woodward.
Here's Betsy Woodward. Woodward, the freshman, hitting .333. No homers, 4 RBIs. You look at up and down this Cougars lineup, they have 1 senior starting, and that's Kaylin Fahey. 2 juniors, Harville and Limburger. The rest, freshmen and sophomores, and here they sit 6-0 in the OVC.
And that's not a thing that will change all that often for SIUE, because one of their seniors is Kiana Villa, who almost exclusively comes in relief.
1-0 pitch coming from Gick. Pumped in for a strike, 1-1. Woodward trying to get the Cougars on top here in the bottom of the first. 2 runs on 1 hit for Eastern Illinois, both unearned in the top of the first. The Cougars match it here in the bottom half, and they're still hitting with 2 outs. Runner on at third is Duran. Woodward at the dish for SIUE. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Gick a strike away from getting out of a first inning jam.
Not without some damage done on both sides now.
Here comes the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning. Not before, though, SIUE. 2 runs on 2 base hits. No errors, a runner left on. We're off to an electric start here at Cougar Field. We go to the second inning, tied 2-2.
AHS presents the ups and downs of homeownership. The water heater isn't working, and you don't know what to do. But AHS can help in real time over video chat. Fix it over video chat with American Home Shield. Sign up today at ahs.com.
We knew our last Verbo was going to be incredible. We didn't know the hot tub was broken. But thanks to Verbo Care and 24/7 live support, they moved us. Better place, better hot tub.
Got any room for Dad?
Think again, Bruce.
Yeah.
Teenagers are full of surprises. Verbo is not. If you know, you Verbo.
Here we go, top of the second. Michaela Anderson's first pitch is foul. 7, 8, 9 in the order due up here for Eastern Illinois. Lexi Griffin, Mary Beth Dyson, and Maddox Marshall.
Tail end of this lineup, really the entire lineup for EIU is hitting really well. A team you kind of expect to be hitting really well at the top of the OVC.
That curves outside, 1-1.
They're really doing everything well, though. Second in the OVC in fielding percentage. They're tied with SEMO. Batting average, they're surprisingly middle of the pack at 270, but 270 alone's pretty good number. And they steal like about as average as everybody else, EIU and SIUE, 5 and 6 in a 10-team OVC.
That pitch missed outside, 2-1. And the Cougars are near the bottom of the OVC in offense, but they've started to heat up a little bit in the last few conference games. And so if you're SIUE, that's fouled down the third base line. If you're SIUE, especially with so many young players, sometimes the start of the conference schedule, you're kind of still finding your rhythm offensively. And to the Cougars' credit, they're getting such good pitching and normally great defense that you know, you can win games scoring 2 or 3 runs.
It also makes sense that they're towards the bottom with 6 games played in conference play, because they're 6-0 in conference play, but they're 13-14 overall.
That's a drive into left center. That's going to plug the gap. That is gone. It's a home run. Lexi Griffin, that ball didn't stop flying out to left center. And a home run for Griffin. I thought that was off the wall, but that thing snuck over the outfield fence in left center for a home run, and Eastern Illinois back on top. And that is the first earned run given up this season by Michaela Anderson.
Michaela Anderson with this meeting at the mound seems a little rattled. First batter seen, that's the 5th home run for Dyson on the season. Griffin on the season.
Dyson's up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Griffin. It's funny. You look at Lexi Griffin batting in that number 7 spot. She leads the team in home runs and RBIs, and she's batting 7th here today. Dyson standing in from the left side. Fireworks early here in Edwardsville. Here's the 0-1. Swung over it, 1-1. Anderson took a little bit off. The reigning OVC pitcher of the week, Michaela Anderson, just gave up her first earned run of the season in 16 innings. Here's the 0-2. Tap foul. We'll do it again for Mary Beth Dyson. With that earned run, no longer a perfect earned run average coming in. Here's the 0-2, missed outside.
She no longer tied for first in the nation either?
No longer tied for first in the nation, Dan. She's now fallen out of first place with that run allowed. And Lexi Griffin smoked that line drive out of here in left center. Tap left side. That's going to be a tough play. Play it first. Too late. Infield single for Mary Beth Dyson. She got on top of the ball, and it was bounced straight up in the air. And by the time Garza was able to come in and make the play from the left side of the plate, Dyson just flew through first base.
And combine that with the fact that Garza was in on third base. She usually plays about 50 feet, maybe 45 feet from home plate. So it's not like Garza was playing at your baseball distance behind third base. She was in. She was bunt distance in. That's just an unfortunate or really fortunate hit, depending on which side of the ball you're on.
Dyson, the center fielder, has good speed. Oh, and that is up around the head, off the helmet of number 31, Maddox Marshall. She's hit by the pitch. She seems to be okay. She's walking it off, and that one got away from Michaela Anderson.
And that, kids, is why there's a cage. Yeah,
that cage prevents more damage. Anderson, their trainer, is out to, or one of the coaches out to talk to Marshall, make sure she's okay. But that ball was a rise ball, high and tight, right into the cage of Marshall. She gives the thumbs up to co-head coach Dan Paulson. And he'll jog back down to the third base coach's box.
Now batting, number 18, Chloe Wambolt.
Here's Wambolt. She flew out to left to start the first inning, and she's now hitting with runners at first and second and nobody out. A run already in. The Lexi Griffin solo blast, her 6th of the season. Rise ball high. Wambolt, the team's leading hitter, 355, leads the team in hits and runs. Here's the 1-0. Squares to bunt, pulls back, 2-0. Anderson's been a little off of her game early. She got into a rhythm at the end of the first inning, but now back here in the top of the second, struggling to find the zone after giving up a home run, a single, and then hit the number 9 hitter, Maddox Marshall. 3-0 now on Wambolt.
With nobody out, this to load the bases for Kayla Anderson. She's fallen behind 3-0 a couple times. She's brought it back on most occasions, but this would be the time to do so.
Wambolt looks at a strike, taking all the way 3-1 with runners on base. That is just smart softball right there. Just make sure the ball on a 3-0 count is in the zone. Here comes the 3-1 now from Anderson to Wambolt. This is a hitter's count for the Panther shortstop. Squares to bunt, fouls it back, and it's a full count now.
I've seen this a lot with SIUE. I haven't seen it with a lot of visitors here to Cougar Field, where they will wait either until A, after the first pitch, or B, the first strike to square to bunt.
Maybe the element of surprise.
It's interesting, though, because on a 3-1 count, you got that hitter's count. You want to look for something. That would have been a great pitch to swing on. Instead, it's a foul back.
Especially with a runner already in scoring position. She taps it left side. Torres dives but can't field it. The runner at third is held. A bleeding single into left field. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. First Stuyvesant, who hit it on the nose last time up, ended up in error. Lindberger tracked it down and went off her glove. And Coach Sorden, I think, is going to go to the bullpen. Let's see. He comes out.
I saw the word change mouthed.
And so Coach Sorden is going to go to the bullpen early. Michaela Anderson just struggled with command here in this first inning plus. And that'll bring in for SIUE Kiana Villa. Villa, number 16, the senior, who comes out of the bullpen most of the time for SIUE, and as a matter of fact has not started a game this year. This is her 11th appearance. 18 innings pitched, a 5.44 earned run average. Kia doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, but she is effective. She throws a lot of off-speed pitches, different looks, and she is very effective in inducing outs. But she will not overpower you.
I think one of the most effective things for her as a relief pitcher is actually who the starters are. Because for SIUE, we just saw for Anderson, we see it from Arwood all the time. It is speed, and a lot of speed. Rare off speed, some changeups in there every so often, but it is a lot of speed. For Villa, because it's a whole lot of off speed, it is just such a different look for hitters compared to what they've already seen. And because Villa doesn't start, that's twofold. It makes her life a lot easier as a reliever because her starters that she takes over for are so much different.
Villa in conference play so far this year, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs. Opponents hitting just 125 against her in conference play this year.
Decent part of that Moorhead series. She was a little bit more prolific back against Tennessee Tech 2 weekends ago.
First pitch swinging high, pop up into center. Harville camps under it. The runner will tag. Here comes the throw to the plate, and she will beat the throw. Harville made it closer than I thought she was going to. It's 4-2 Eastern Illinois.
Especially because she did not step behind the ball all that much.
Yeah, that was kind of an off-balance, all-arm throw, and she got it there.
Still a pretty good one.
Yeah. Here's Alicia Frederick, who walked and scored in the first. Runners on at first and second. First pitch missed. That run charge to Michaela Anderson. The 1-0 count now on Alicia Frederick. The Eastern Illinois right fielder looks at a strike. Frederick, a junior, 262, a homer, 14 runs batted in. Tall right-hander, Kiana Villa, that missed.
It's left-handed batter. She's trying to keep the off-speed away, because even an early swing and off-speed that is close enough to a fastball, especially for lefties, could be fair enough.
Oh, just missed. 3-1. Runners at first and second, 1 out, top of the second. Crooked numbers in every half inning so far. Doubleheader today, single game tomorrow. Ground ball foul, full count up the first base side.
SIUE coming into this game, overall, best pitching team in the OVC. UT Martin a close second, but a 4.08 ERA in all games played.
Rise ball missed high, and the bases are loaded.
Even in conference play, that number's more substantially in SIUE's favor. That 4.08 ERA falls to 1.17 as a team. The closest team to them, Southern Indiana, 2.22.
Southern Indiana's at 5-1. They are in second place behind these two.
Eastern Illinois, despite the fact they're 6-0, they have a 4.52 team ERA in conference play.
Foul back to the screen, Abby Hatton. Second walk drawn by Frederick. She now has 12. That's tied for the team lead.
She scored in the first off of her walk.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Cougars hoping for a hard hit ground ball right at an infielder and try to turn 2 and get out of this inning. That missed outside, 1-1. Mentioned it already, but a beautiful day here in Edwardsville. Temperatures are going to get into the mid-80s. Not a cloud in the sky. Wind has died down. That American flag out in center field, not waving at all. That's looped into center. Here comes Harville. That drops for a base hit. 1 run will score. Harville throws a strike to Duran. And by the way, co-head coach for Eastern Illinois, Dan Paulson, knew it. He had no... There was no temptation to send his runner, knowing Harville's arm.
And seeing it a couple times already today with the sac fly. It was an all-arm throw that nearly got an out earlier on the sac fly. That was the entire body. That was most of everything she could have thrown into that.
Ball missed low, and so now still just 1 out. Bases are still loaded. 3 runs across here for Eastern Illinois in the second. They lead 5-2. This is Ullman, catcher, looks at a ball high. Hatton has 2 RBIs in this game. That gives her 18 for the season, second for the Panthers. Lexi Griffin, who hit the home run, has 22 runs batted in to lead Eastern Illinois. Missed outside, it's 3-0. There's no place to put Sophia Ullman. Sophia's gonna have to throw a strike here. She does, 3-1. Ullman taking all the way. She doubled home a run in the first. She's now up with the bases loaded here in the second.
Via with some limited innings pitched.
That's a high fly ball to left, way back deep, and it is gone! A grand slam for the Eastern Illinois catcher. Ullman, a grand slam to left. Her 5th RBI of the game. She's doubled and homered. And that'll be all for Kiana Villa. She didn't last an inning. She got 1 out. 3 of the runs here in this inning charged to Villa. And that'll bring in for SIUE number 18, Haley Strain. This is Strain's 12th appearance of the season. 27 2/3 innings. She's given up 34 earned runs, 11 walks, 21 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .405 against the freshman. Left-handed pitcher, stands 6'1" from Hastings, Minnesota. So number 16, Haley Strain, taking her warm-up tosses. Or I'm sorry, number 18, I should say. Strain this year. Left-handed hurler.
See the piece of hitting that is sent via quickly to the bench with Ullman getting a hold of that one. And Haley Strain, for the first time at home, will pitch. Spent a lot of time out of conference and a little bit over the last week and a half or so.
She pitched 2 innings, gave up 5 hits and a couple of earned runs earlier this week at St. Louis. And her last conference outing was against Tennessee Tech on March 6th. Pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up a hit, no runs. And the freshman now with the bases empty and 1 out in the second, and a 9-2 Eastern Illinois lead. They came out swinging today against the best pitching staff in the OVC. This is a shot off the glove of Torres. She tried to sidle it. It was drilled to her left. Reaction time as she tried to scoop it off the left leg, off her glove for a hit, and Mo Nance reaches with 1 out. They're going to call that an error officially on Justine Torres.
And another error for the SIUE defense. Conference play has not been friendly to SIUE fielding.
Here's Griffin. Griffin, the 10th hitter of the inning. She started the inning with a solo home run to left center. Lays down a bunt. No one covering.
Oh, no.
The second baseman for SIUE, Betsy Woodward, was late covering, and Strain could not unfurl the ball to the first base bag, and so
Number 5, Mary Beth Dyson.
It's arguably a good thing she didn't. Otherwise, that would have been sitting in shallow right. And SIUE would have to deal with probably second and third, if not a run scored and a runner on third.
An infield single for Griffin. She's now 2 for 2. Runners at first and second, still just 1 out for the 11th hitter in the inning, Mary Beth Dyson.
And SIUE in an inning and a third is well into their third pitcher as well.
I imagine with the score the way it is, we're going to see extended innings here for Haley Strain, the freshman.
And or everybody just cycling in and out. May see a pitch by committee or pitch by frame.
Inside, ball 1.
Would not be surprised if there's a re-entrance of Anderson later.
1-0 pitch. Oh, took a little off. Nice pitch, 1-1. Floated in right above the belt. 2 on, 1 out. 7 runs across already for Eastern Illinois in this second inning. A 9-2 lead. Swing and a miss. Got a little piece of it, but it ended up in Ashley Duran's glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind has picked back up slightly, blowing out to left. Here's the 1-2 coming. Looped into left. On the run, it drops right in front of the left fielder, Fahey, but she fires to Torres. Or is that's the third baseman, Garza, who stayed home, and they get the force at third base. So the rare 7-5 put out.
What is that, a ground ball? On a hop? Nice little scoop in left field.
Technically. So Dyson reaches on a fielder's choice.
That should totally be a hit. I'm so sorry to Dyson. Robbed.
Low and away, ball 1. But the runner at second really had no choice.
Yeah,
because you'd say that's in no man's land. So if she makes the catch, you double her up at second if she's running. So she had to hold and make sure that ball dropped. That's a good pitch from Strain. Another kind of changeup that was low, took a little off.
As the only lefty in the SIUE staff, it's a little beneficial for her, following Villa, who had a lot more off speed, and then Anderson, who had a lot more speed, both from the right side.
That's high, 2-1. 2 on, 2 out, top of the second. Fireworks already. 11 total runs, 9 total hits.
We've played 3 frames.
And we are in the top of the second inning. Fouled right back to the screen, 2-2. That was right over your head, Dan Rodier.
Yeah, I will always duck for those. Eric has to sit next to us, and he always makes fun of me when I do it. But I will continue to duck for those because there should be a point where there's not glass in front of me, and I'm not going to duck, and it's going to whack me in my mouth.
We are, for those not familiar, we are situated literally right behind home plate.
You can kind of see us in that left window.
You can kind of see us. That's way high. That's a wild pitch. Runners will move up 60 feet. Griffin to third and Dyson to second.
The rare wild pitch that leaks out to the first baseman.
Deflected just off the plexiglass. I was about to mention that protects us from line drives and foul balls and wild pitches.
We appreciate it.
Here's the payoff pitch. Outside. Bases are now loaded for the leadoff hitter, Wambolt, who's already been to the plate twice. This is her third at bat. We're only in the second inning. Wambolt 1 for 2, a single and a run scored. The 13th hitter of the inning for Eastern Illinois. First pitch, a strike. Seven hits just in this second inning. That gets away. That's going to be another wild pitch, and a run will score.
And critically, it unloads the bases with 2 outs, so it makes fielding on the infield a lot more difficult. I was going to say Strain kind of helped herself out with that walk, maybe making life a little easier.
2 wild pitches in the inning. Strain now has thrown 10 this season. Squared a bunt, pull back. It's low, 2-1.
7 hits in the inning, 2 errors on the game already for SIUE in this inning. 8 runs on 6 hits and an error, and a couple wild pitches.
Here comes the 2-1. Tap foul right off of Duran.
And even on at-bats that have not yielded hits, they've still been productive. We had the fielder's choice. It's only technically a fielder's choice because there was a force out at third over to left. Thank you, Kalen Fahey. We had the fly out to center field, and Harville threw it home. The sac fly turned out to be a sac fly only barely. But it has been productive at-bat after productive at-bat. And, I mean, that makes sense with so many players coming to bat here in the second inning for the Panthers.
13th hitter of the inning. Full count now on Wambolt. Here's the pitch. Ground foul. We'll do it again. 2 of the 10 runs were unearned. Those were the first inning runs. All 8 runs here in the second are earned runs. Four of them charged to Michaela Anderson. Oh, she laced it right back at the head of the pitcher Strain. 2 more runs will score. Sliding into second, a single and an error. But 2 RBIs for Wambolt.
Strain with some good reaction time to avoid the ball, but Harville had difficulty fielding it. It had an awkward in-out spin from the lefty, just escaped off her glove. A single and an error also means the run scores on an error from third base. Harville more than likely was ready to come up throwing and tried to get rid of the ball before she fully had it in her control.
Officially, it is 2 RBIs for Wambolt. She's now 2 for 3. This game is getting out of hand. Top of the second, 9 runs on the board in this inning just for Eastern Illinois. Ten runs, I should say, in this inning. 10 runs in this inning for the Panthers, and they have 12 and lead 12-2. We're not even out of the top of the second inning yet. Ball away and low. 14th hitter of the inning for Eastern Illinois, Lizzie Stuyverson. She's 0 for 1, reached on an error and scored in the first. Sacrifice fly earlier in the second. She's hitting again here in the second inning. Outside 2-0. Strain trying to stop the bleeding here in the top of the second. But it's turned out to be a gusher for the Cougars.
I love gushers.
Well, you love the candy. That's right back to the screen. That would have been right at my head right there.
I didn't react to that one. We're still getting judged.
2 balls, 1 strike. 2 down, runner on at second, top of the second. 10 runs across for Eastern Illinois. Fouled off, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Every pitcher that Eastern Illinois has faced, not exclusively for balls hit in play, but quality contact. They have not had issues finding quality contact. A foul off to stay alive in a count. Avoiding pitches they don't need to be swinging at. They have a lot of really good patience.
Another foul. Do it again.
Ben Sorden sitting in the opening of the SIUE dugout over down the third base line. Needs to start wearing some catcher shin pads if he's going to keep sitting there. I think that one hit him around his shins. It did not look like it felt very good.
8 hits in the inning, 10 runs. That's a grounder to third. And she may beat it as the third baseman Garza stumbled making the play. And before she could get up and fire it across, Stuyvesant reached.
Marissa Garza had issues just standing up. She kept the ball in front of her, but having to reach out and then getting her feet tangled up inside herself.
Swing and a miss. She fielded the ball cleanly on the backhand and then stumbled over her feet when she stood up to make the throw. And so an error charge to Garza, the third, make it 4th error of the game already. And there's Garza fielding that one cleanly, and the Cougars are finally out of the top of the second inning. 15 hitters to the plate, 10 runs on 8 base hits. 12-2 Eastern Illinois after 1.5.
The best national barbecue in Glen Carbon. Stop by.
Live for the away games, for the full counts. Live for the high fives and the moonshots.
You got this.
Live the game like never before.
Are you Marcia?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Liberty Bibbity.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Bibbity.
Bibbity?
Bibbity?
Bibbity.
Bibbity.
Are you hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some lasagna.
And some cannolis.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Stairs, Garza, and Limburger to hit for SIUE, and the Cougars have got a lot of work to do. We are an hour into this game, and we are in the bottom of the second inning.
That was a 28-minute half inning. Started at 12 with a home run. Ended a shade before 1 p.m. 3 separate pitchers, 15 separate batters.
1-1 on Stairs.
Anderson started the game and the half inning. Villa took over. And I don't know if she recorded an out.
She got one out on a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, that was to Harville.
That's right.
And then gave up the grand slam and was promptly removed.
1-1 pitch. That's a high fly ball into center. Ranging back is Dyson at the track, and she runs it down.
Dyson did a really good job of seeing that off the bat and not losing sight of it. Knowing she had a decent bit of room till the wall, didn't feel like she had to re-space herself. Kept tracking, and stayed the same speed. Didn't over sprint towards the ball because she didn't have to. She's got speed alone.
Garza, the sophomore third baseman, comes in hitting 192. Rise ball high, but she swung through it, strike one. The pitcher, Gick, had to sit for 28 minutes for Eastern Illinois.
Honestly, if I was the Paulsons, that being co-head coaches Christy and Dan, I would have warmed somebody else up just in case.
Here's the 0-1, rise ball up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, in all fairness, that's a little bit more applicable in baseball than it is softball, having that long of a break.
And we don't have the luxury of seeing what was going on in the bullpen. She may have run down there and thrown a few warm-up
I would
pitches.
have.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1 coming from Gick. Spins outside, 2-1. This game is shaping up to be slightly different than the two OVC championship tournament games they played in 2023 and 2025. There's a strike. Those were 2-0 and 1-0 games.
And if you watch any of those games, they felt closer. At least the 2025 one, I got to watch myself.
Yeah, I actually drove to Peoria and was in the stands for that game.
I was watching that from San Antonio.
Here's the pitch. Foul back to the screen. 2-2. We'll do it again.
In the 3-game series they played in the regular season, 3-1 win for SIUE on Saturday. They played a Sunday doubleheader then. It was a 5-4 loss for SIUE in 10 innings. And then a 10-2 win 2.5 hours later in 6 innings.
Here's a swing and a miss. Rise ball. Garza chased. 2 down. That's 4 in a row now. Set down by Gick.
Number 17, Harley Limburger.
But of the 6 times the two teams played last season, 1 was decided early, 3 were decided in extras, and 2 of those 3 in extras were in the OVC tournament.
Yeah, not many blowouts between these two. Check swing, went around Harley Limburger.
Not a whole lot of blowouts for SIUE, period. Their last 2 regular season games, 4-0 and 6-5 in 11 innings. And then they won by 1, 3, and 1 in the OVC tournament. In their 3 wins that got them to the tournament final.
Strike 2, 0-2. Limburger only has 3 hits this year, but she had 2 big ones against Moorhead State last weekend.
Yeah, and as a right fielder, she's listed as a catcher. And a lot of the pictures she has for SIUE on the social media side, she has catcher's gear in the vicinity, but has played almost exclusively right field.
Strike 3 call right above the belt. That's now the 4th strikeout for Gick. She set down 5 in a row. We played 2 full innings in Edwardsville. 12-2 Eastern Illinois.
Hidradenitis suppurativa. And the pain that comes with it? It's a part of me, and I know how to manage it. With Bimzelx, I'm back to fewer HS symptoms.
Only Bimzelx targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation. Many saw at least a 50% reduction, with some even seeing 75% reduction. Fast relief of HS symptoms for results that last. And many felt less pain. Serious side effects like suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections and lowered ability to fight them, liver problems, and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or fevers, chills, muscle aches, or cough occur, or you've had a vaccine or plan to. Before starting, get checked for infections, tuberculosis, and liver problems.
Start to say, I'm back to fewer HS symptoms.
Ask your dermatologist about Bimzelx.
Ullman and Nance to hit for Eastern Illinois here in the top of the 3rd. They've got a 10-run lead. First pitch from Strain, the freshman lefty, is over for a strike.
You see 4, 5, and 6 batting in the 3rd inning. You're like, wow, they've hit pretty well in the first 2 innings. You see 4, 5, and 6 batting for the 3rd time.
15 hitters to the plate in the 2nd inning for the Panthers. That's a good pitch, curved right over the outside corner from Strain. Haley Strain, the lefty from Hastings, Minnesota. Freshman, stands 6'1". Here's the pitch. Miss low, 1-2. That's a good location for an 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout. That's 2 in a row set down by a Cougar pitcher in this game, and that might be the first time that's happened in this game. It is. That's the first time a Cougar pitcher has set down 2 hitters in a row.
What a time to do it then. Now as you're trying to fill some innings in.
Shot down the right field line will slice foul. Sophia Ullman at the plate. She's 2 for 2, a double, a homer, 5 RBIs for the junior catcher for Eastern Illinois. She had 9 RBIs all season and has collected 5 here this afternoon. Low, 1-1.
That's pitch number 35 for Haley Strain. She is the third pitcher for SIUE inside the circle. That's pitch 91 for SIUE. Rylan Gick, she has 35 pitches in 2 innings.
That missed high, 2-1. Haley Strain, all-conference selection in 3 sports at Hastings High School. Played volleyball and basketball, had over 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. That's a nice off-speed pitch in for a strike.
How many kills did she have on the volleyball side?
It doesn't say.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'm sure we could find out. Also a 3-time academic all-state selection. Here's the 2-2, fouled off. I mean, there's not many players in high school basketball with 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds.
I'll stop you halfway there. There's not many players in high school with 1,000 points. Or 1,000 rebounds.
Right. That's in the dirt and goes back to the screen.
And, I mean, it makes sense for Strain, one of the taller players on most softball
6'1".
rosters.
Yep, 6'1". Wonder if Sam Quigley-Smith might put in a call.
I was going to say the same thing for Coach Kendall Paulus for SIUE's volleyball team.
That ball's high. That grazed Ullman, so she reaches for the 3rd time.
Now batting number 4, Mo Nance.
Here's Mo Nance, the left fielder. She's 1 for 2. So base runners in every inning for Eastern Illinois. Standing at first is Ullman at the dish. Mo Hance. 0-1 pitch and a bunt and a foul. 0-2. Trying to move the runner up to second base.
Did the same thing I talked about back in the first inning, where squaring to bunt after the first pitch. In this case, it was a strike. SIUE will almost exclusively wait till there's a strike. Other teams sometimes will wait till there's a pitch. Not every time it's a strike. That time it was. Now you're faced 0-2. It's why.
Pop up. Torres angles back into the outfield grass and makes the catch. 2 down.
That's one of the reasons that waiting until that first pitch becomes difficult, because if you A, miss, B, don't like the pitch, C, foul it off, you're down 0-2. Now you're protecting on 0-2, and you foul it off. Or in that case, you have to protect and pop it up towards the shortstop. You lose it at bat.
Here's Lexi Griffin. Griffin 2 for 2 with a home run, 2 runs scored. Runner on first, 2 down, top of the 3rd. Eastern Illinois leading 12-2. Ground ball left side. Torres charging, fires across her body to make the play, and the Cougars get out of the inning unscathed. 12-2 Eastern Illinois after 2.5.
Kids are always snacking on the go, so keep them going all day with chewy, delicious Sunbelt Bakery Bars. From oats and honey, to chocolate chip, to soft baked strawberry. There's a flavor for everyone. The tastiest flavors under the sun. Sunbelt Bakery Bars.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
Line drive foul down the third base line as the Cougars open up the bottom of the third. With the leadoff hitter, Abby Harville. She struck out in the first, 0 for 1. New second baseman in the game for Eastern Illinois, number 9. That is Viola Smith, the freshman from Rockford, Illinois. One ball, one strike on Harville. Harville, Torres, Fahey to hit for the Cougars. Trying to chip away at this 10-run lead.
Would say do it slowly. You need to make it within 8 in the next 3 innings.
Strike on the outside corner.
Something that SIUE is not too unaccustomed to is being down early. This is the largest deficit they have faced through 2 innings, much less 3.
1-2 pitch. High pop up right side. First baseman camps under it, right behind first base. That is Abby Hatton. She makes the catch. 1 out.
Officially a foul ball fly out for Harville, but pop foul regardless, and a pop out. One that you're running through the early half of this lineup. You can't afford to have those at-bats go that way.
6 in a row set down by Ryland Gick. Torres looks at a strike, and Gick is painting the corners. Her location has been exceptional today.
Good news for the Cougars. This part of the lineup is the only part of the lineup she's had issue with. Torres hit by a pitch. Fahey and Duran both with RBIs.
Ball up high, 1-1. Yes, both doubled. Fahey doubled and scored on the Duran double. Back in the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gick spins it in the right hand, now looks in and delivers. Curved outside, 2-1. Wind has picked up again, blowing out to left. At game time, it was about 5 miles per hour. It might be a little stronger than that right now. Here's the 2-1. Off the hands, fouled back to the screen.
Hey, I've always made this reference when talking about the weather. My Windows taskbar is what I live off of. Right now it says today's high to break record. I don't know what that means, but I was told 80 something, and with some wind, I'm sure that 80 feels nice, or that wind feels nice.
Again, she turned on it and fouled it back as Gick peppering that inside corner.
Temperatures may break the record high for March 21st in a few hours. Officially, the expected high is 84 degrees between 4 and 6 p.m., where we will be in Game 2 by then of this doubleheader.
Another foul. Good at bat here for Torres, making Gick work here in this third inning. Cougars have committed 4 errors in this game already. Just 2 base hits, 2 runs. 12 runs for Eastern Illinois. Here comes the next. And again, Torres, 4 straight foul balls, hanging alive. Two-two pitch on its way. And another hit by pitch. That got her on the elbow, and that one stung. You can see.
You could hear that.
Yeah, you can see Torres dangling that left arm, and that was right above the elbow, and that was a loud, loud hit by pitch.
And that exclusively is why you work triceps in softball and baseball, so it hurts a little bit less when you get hit there. Well, that, it helps with power on the swing, but.
That's the second time Torres has been hit. She's walking this one off a little bit more gingerly than she did the first one. The first one sort of grazed. This one hit directly above the left elbow.
I've always looked at how much a hit by pitch hurts by where the ball goes after. If it drops dead right in front of the batter, you can tell that's about the most painful it can be.
Torres has been hit 5 times coming in, so now 7 times this year she's been hit by a pitch. She might want to invest in one of those elbow braces. if she's going to keep leaning into some of these pitches. I'm not saying she leaned in purposely, but
she did.
When that ball comes inside, you might want to put some gear on.
She led the OVC in hit by pitches entering today. She now leads by a little bit more. Had 5. It was Kaylin Jean-Baptiste and Purdue Marie from Morehead State tied for second. They're still tied for second, but now 3 back instead of 1.
Spins outside, ball 1. Here's Fahey. She doubled and scored in the first. This is how the rally started in the first for SIUE. A 1-out hit by pitch and then back-to-back doubles.
Deja vu all over again here, Randy.
Let's hope. The 1-1 pitch now. Gick delivers. Down and in, 2-0. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Eastern Illinois has opened a big lead, 12-2. The Cougars trying to scratch and claw their way back in it. Got to get some crooked numbers over the next couple of innings. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul, 2-1. That was a hitter's count there, and Gick delivered a hittable pitch. Fahey fouled it back. Fahey last year hit 265. That's a great location from Gick. Down and away, over the outside corner at the knees.
Especially after a couple pitches inside that have arguably backed Fahey off the plate. So that outside pitch, even though it's on the corner, looks 4 inches outside.
Fahey 6 times this year has multi-hit games. And she might have another one. That's in the gap in right center. Torres on to third. 2 hits for Kaylin Fahey. The Cougars have a rally going in the bottom of the 3rd with 1 out.
Fahey, another weekend of some quality hitting. Home run last weekend against Morehead State that set up one of the many comebacks they were forced to bring here at Cougar Field. And now with Duran, you said deja vu. I'll say it again. 1 for 1 of the double in back-to-back batters. Now with 2 runners on again. Duran's got another RBI chance.
Duran, since March 8th, has raised her average from 250 to 340. She has been hitting well over the last couple of weeks. First pitch, a strike. She doubled home 2 in the first. For Duran, that was her 2nd double of the year, her 7th and 8th RBIs. And with the recent hot streak, putting her in that cleanup spot, paid off in the first inning for Coach Sorden. Change up, runner trying to steal. She's caught in between. Cougars looking to double steal. Here comes the run in to score. So the tactic works. Kaylin Fahey is caught stealing, but the run will score, and it is 12-3.
I think if I'm Eastern Illinois, I'm happy to trade that for the rest of the game. I will take 1st and 3rd, and I trade it out for the rest of the game. SIUE, as it stands, has 8 outs remaining.
Yeah, you have a 10-run lead. You'll absolutely trade the run for the out.
Especially now that makes it 2 outs.
2 outs and nobody on for Duran.
That's how you kill a rally right there. Honestly, it's kind of how SIUE can kill their own rally, running themselves out of that. You've got a player who can very easily put the ball in play. Maybe not wanting to run yourself into a double play if that's the possibility. I think that's the only reason you send that, is if you're scared of the double play.
2 balls, 1 strike. And that was, let's be clear, that was a design.
Yes, it was.
Steal, double steal to try to get that run home.
It's a good thing they did.
Loop to the shortstop. And that ends the inning. The shortstop, Wambolt, makes the catch. We played 3 full. 12-3. Eastern Illinois leads.
Need a break from the usual? Edward.
Hydradenitis suppurativa. And the pain that comes with it? It's a part of me, and I know how to manage it. With Bimzelx, I'm back to fewer HS symptoms.
Only Bimzelx targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation. Many saw at least a 50% reduction, with some even seeing 75% reduction. Fast relief of HS symptoms for results that last. And many felt less pain. Serious side effects like suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections and lowered ability to fight them, liver problems, and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or fevers, chills, muscle aches, or cough occur, or you've had a vaccine or plan to. Before starting, get checked for infections, tuberculosis, and liver problems.
Start to say, I'm back, to fewer HS symptoms.
Ask your dermatologist about Bimzelx.
Upcoming series brought to you by Visit SI. Make Southern Illinois your summer oasis. For Eastern Illinois, they'll take on Bradley in a midweek non-conference battle after this series. First pitch a strike, then they'll take on Western Illinois in a 3-game set at home next weekend before taking on Indiana State.
The rare midweek doubleheader for Bradley and Eastern Illinois. SIUE midweek games as well. They will take on a power conference opponent here.
Diving attempt by Fahey, but it drops in front for a base hit.
They'll host Mizzou. We'll have that here for you on ESPN Plus at Cougar Field. They'll then head to UT Martin for 3 games in 2 days at Betty Giles softball field, and then hosting regional opponent St. Louis for the 2nd time in 2 weeks. This time it's at SIUE. They lost last week at the Billiken Sports Complex.
They did. They lost 3-0 in that game.
Is that last week or this week? Saturday's still this week, right?
Saturday's still this week, yeah. I get confused too. I feel like the weekend comes and then I want to say last week.
Yeah, but then on a Friday, it's still, you're thinking already this week is the following 7 days. I don't know. In some nondescript calendar period, they lost to St. Louis. Speaking of St. Louis, by the way, unfortunate loss for men's basketball.
Yes, they did lose to Michigan today. And you know, we could eliminate that whole last week, this week thing by just saying they lost a few days ago.
Also accurate.
Marshall's at the plate, runner on first. 9-run lead for Eastern Illinois, top of the 4th inning. Haley Strain, who struggled when she first came into the game, has kind of settled down here. Got through the 3rd inning without giving up a run.
Officially, the line reads 1.2, 3 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned. A walk and a strikeout and 12 batters faced.
Check swing and a foul.
And coming into this inning, it was 2 hits and 3 runs.
By the way, this is the second baseman Viola Smith, who came into the game defensively for Maddox Marshall. So she's in the game now with a runner on at first and hitting. Popped it up on the infield. Torres ranges back. Fahey comes in and makes the catch.
Probably smart play by Fahey, coming in on that the entire way, and she's wearing sunglasses. Justine Torres, importantly, is not. You said it earlier, sun is out. I think I could count on one hand the amount of clouds in the sky, and a good portion of them are created by airplane offset.
1 out, runner on. For the leadoff hitter, Wamble, who is hitting for the 4th time. She's 2 for 3.
Home plate umpire Kevin Wallace says, I should have made that play. It was fouled straight back at me.
Got to have some bounce back there.
See a lot of umpires. I think he used one of my favorites.
Wild pitch. The runner will advance to second. Dyson now on at second. 3rd wild pitch by the freshman Haley Strain. So runner in scoring position now with 1 out for Wamble. Fouled off. Out of play. Fahey gave chase, but that was well out of the ballpark. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, top of the 4th. Eastern Illinois trying to build here on a 9-run lead. Tapper right back to Strain. She turns and fires to first. Gets the put out. Dyson advances to 3rd base. 2 down here in the 4th.
Talked about exchanging outs for runs earlier, outs for runners earlier for Eastern Illinois on the defensive side. You'll do the exact same thing for Eastern Illinois now on the offensive side. You'll take that 60 feet for the out over at first base. Fielder's choice you're perfectly fine with.
First pitch low to Stuyvesant. She is 0 for 2. Reached on an error and scored in the first. Reached on an error in the second. Also a sacrifice fly RBI in the second. For Stuyvesant, that was her 14th RBI. It's 1-1. 2 runs in the first inning, 10 runs in the second for Eastern Illinois. Strain trying to go 2 innings here without allowing a run.
Earned run.
Well, no runs in the third. Hopefully no runs in the fourth if she can get this third out.
True.
Oh, that's a nice pitch. Change up, floats in over the outside corner, 2-2. So Strain now 1 strike away from getting out of the fourth. Runner on at third. Here's the pitch. That's a shot, right center. Limburger comes in, running forward to make the catch in right field. Sprinting to make that play. No runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left on. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Eastern Illinois leading SIUE 12-3.
Hidradenitis suppurativa. And the pain that comes with it, it's a part of me, and I know how to manage it. With Bimzelx, I'm back to fewer HS symptoms.
Only Bimzelx targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation. Many saw at least a 50% reduction, with some even seeing 75% reduction. Fast relief of HS symptoms for results that last. And many felt less pain. Serious side effects like suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections and lowered ability to fight them, liver problems, and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or fevers, chills, muscle aches, or cough occur, or you've had a vaccine or plan to. Before starting, get checked for infections, tuberculosis, and liver problems.
Start to say, I'm back to fewer HS symptoms.
Ask your dermatologist about Bimzelx.
Some Eastern Illinois defensive adjustments coming into the bottom of the fourth inning. Eastern Illinois leads 12-3 over the SIUE Cougars here. First game of a doubleheader. Daniel Rodier and Randy Molman, who is getting the defensive adjustments that we just received from our home plate umpire, Kevin Wallace. It is a whole host of adjustments, and now's a pretty good time to do so. Rare conference instance where you're leading by a good few against another notably superior conference opponent. Both teams 6-0 coming into today here, Randy, and this is the time to make those changes.
Brooklyn Groppel is into the game now. In left field, Mo Hantz has moved from left to right. And Ashley Frederick out of the game for Eastern Illinois. So Groppel will bat in Frederick's spot. And for SIUE, it is Reagan Duncan at the plate. Duncan, Woodward, and Stairs. Duncan 0 for 1, flew out to right back in the first. Missed outside, 2-1. All OVC tournament team, Reagan Duncan last year as a freshman. Hit .265 for the season, 9 doubles. Here's the 2-1. Inside, 3-1.
Note for Rylan Gick. Batters are batting on average .283 against her on the season. That's a pretty average number, just shy of 300, shade over .260. That's not bad. Leadoff hitters, .351.
Leadoff walk for Reagan Duncan here in the fourth.
That number won't change here, but that is an important loss.
And we're going to get a runner here for Duncan.
Is that Bruzigan? It is. Van Bruzigan.
Van Bruzigan. Will run for Duncan. She's in the game here in the bottom of the fourth. For Van Bruzigan, her 17th. Check it, her 23rd game.
Now batting.
She has scored 2 runs and swiped 3 bases this year.
I cannot imagine she'd be running.
I don't imagine that run, as of now, means much.
No, but the run after her does.
First pitch is strike.
Notably, the run after her does. We had this conversation between innings. OVC baseball has voted to allow run rules to occur in conference play. That was not the case last year. SIUE run ruled Morehead State last night.
0-2.
For softball, run rule has existed for a little while. The difference is, instead of 10 after 7, because there's only 7 innings in softball, it's 8 after 5. So maybe the run on first for Brusigan doesn't matter, but the run after her would cut it within 8 and would extend this game should the deficit stay there.
Strike 3 call, outside corner at the knees, and Woodward strikes out for the second time.
Number 11, Jesslyn Stairs.
Here's Jesslyn Stairs, 222 for the freshman, a homer, 7 RBIs coming in. Flew out to center to start the second inning. 0 for 1. First pitch swinging, fouls it back, out of play, 0-1. Gick's last start in conference play was against Lindenwood on the 14th. She threw a complete game, 7 innings, 1 earned run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. She's trying to throw her second straight complete game here today in conference. She was buoyed, of course, by that 10-run second inning from the Eastern Illinois offense. Little hit and run on, throw down to second. She is out. Caught stealing Van Brusigan. And
what Jesslyn Stairs thought was strike 3 was just strike 2. So it is not a strike him out, throw him out, but it is Brusigan caught stealing. And with 2 outs, SIUE's base running ability has kind of been caught by themselves.
And the swing there was sort of a soft, I'll offer at it, and so I believe the hit and run was on.
Yeah, it was.
She wanted to swing and maybe get a piece of that as Van Brusigan was trying to steal. That's the 3rd time she's been caught stealing this year.
They're, I believe, looking for clarification on the count.
One ball, 2 strikes, so they'll put that back up on the scoreboard.
That's what we had over here. Or back here, I suppose.
No one asks us, though.
Yeah, I know.
Do they? Stairs back in. 1-2 count. Nobody on base. Bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Rise ball high, 2-2. If she gets on, Marissa Garza waits in the on-deck circle. The good news is if you're the Cougars is you brought Haley Strain into a difficult situation. She struggled at first, but she's been pretty good for 2 straight innings. And for a freshman, you want to get her some confidence going here as we get deep into the OVC season.
There's a couple reasons you can bring in a younger pitcher in a game like this. Number one, to eat some innings. I mean, obviously, you're down 10 in the first 2 innings. You want to get some help. But here, it's her eating some innings and finding some further productivity.
Strike 3 there, and we head to the 5th. 12-3 Eastern Illinois on top of the Cougars.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Frederick re-enters, and she'll lead off the fifth and loops one into left and drops one right in front of Fahey. They've done that several times in this game. Looped singles into left field that just bounce right in front of the very good SIUE left fielder, Kaylin Fahey.
And Fahey last week was doing the same thing where she was actually playing in against Morehead State and had a couple hit over her head.
Now at the dish, it's Abby Hatton. She's 1 for 2. Right back up the box. That's a base hit into center. 2 singles to start the fifth for Eastern Illinois, and they've got another rally going here, up 9.
They're going through the core of the lineup here at the top of the fifth inning as well. Sophia Ullman with arguably the game-defining hit, although she is batting, although there's a conversation going on with co-head coach Dan Paulson. Is there a pinch runner over at first?
We're going to get a runner. Number 2 for Eastern Illinois. That is Emily Kunkel, her 22nd appearance off the bench.
To run for Eastern Illinois, number 2, Emily Kunkel.
She has a couple of steals this year. She's on at first, but she has a runner in front of her here unless they employ a double steal. Ullman, strike at the knees. From the Cougar freshman lefty, Haley Strain. Here's the next. Off the end of the bat, fly ball left center, and Fahey ranges into the gap to make the catch. 1 out here in the fifth.
Felt like Fahey and Harville would have had a little internal debate as to who was catching that. There's not a very high likelihood that Frederick would take off from second base on a shallow-ish shot to left center.
Here's Brooklyn Groppel. She came into the game defensively. And she is now hitting in that 6th spot. Ball high to Groppel. This is her first at bat of the game. Groppel this year, 250, 5 for 20, 2 doubles and an RBI. She's walked 5 times, struck out just twice. Check swing, grounder to first. And the first baseman Stairs steps on the bag, 3 unassisted. That was her only play. And so now runners on at second and third, 2 outs for Lexi Griffin. Griffin homered in the second, a solo blast. Singled and scored in the second as well, and then grounded to short in the third. And Coach Sorden's going to come out and have a word with his infield and his freshman hurler, Haley Strain.
Not the only game going on in the OVC here today. There are actually 7 other games going on in the Ohio Valley Conference, not counting this game 1 of the doubleheader or our game 2. Here is the around the Ohio Valley, we like to say. Morehead State, Western Illinois in the top of the 5th, 7-3 Morehead State. Bottom 2nd for Lindenwood, Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech winning that one 5-0. And then bottom 2nd for UT Martin, Tennessee State. That started about 45 minutes ago, 2-1 there. Southern Indiana, SEMO is the only game that is not playing a doubleheader today.
And that's a series both of these teams are keeping an eye on. With Southern Indiana just a game back of the Cougars and the Panthers at 5-1 in the conference. So Griffin, 2 for 3. Runners on at second and third, 2 outs. Pitch from Strain is a pit. Good fastball on the outside corner, 1-1.
Those are the pitches you need. Start outside, stay outside to an opposite-handed hitter. Keep painting the corners. Get out of this jam, start hitting.
Missed low and away, 2-1. Opening series between 2 undefeated OVC teams coming in. And we are trending towards There's a swing and a miss, 2-2, way outside. She got Griffin to chase. We're trending towards Eastern Illinois staying undefeated unless the Cougars can provide some magic here in the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and they'll have to score at least 2 in the 5th to keep this game going. Change up and a swing and a miss. What a great at bat for the pitcher, Haley Strain. She gets Griffin swinging. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 12-3 Panthers.
And Doug.
Thank you both for coming in. I'm a bit worried about Doug Jr. I know how important Liberty Mutual is to your family.
They customize car insurance to save people hundreds.
Right. Well, Doug Jr. keeps writing this.
Douglas Jr. Well, at least he spelled insurance right?
He did not.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Get tax expertise without hidden fees. Switch to a TurboTax expert for $150. All tax situations, all returns, $150, all in, no surprises. Now this is taxes.
Bottom of the 5th inning, the Cougars need 2 runs to keep this game alive. Garza, first pitch swinging, flies out to left. It is caught there by Groppel.
Now batting, number 17, Harley Limburger.
Limburger now will stand in. As Gick looking for her 2nd straight complete game in OVC play. Rise ball high. Limburger 0 for 1, struck out looking in the 2nd.
Getting through it will more than likely be a complete game with just a shade over 2 times through. Lineup's a really stellar. Playing against an SIUE that is hit like one of the best teams in the OVC in OVC play.
2-0 on Limburger. Swing, a miss. Got a good cut at it, 2-1. Limburger, the junior from Warren, Michigan, listed as a catcher, but has been playing right field. That's a good pitch at the knees on the outside corner.
And exclusively right field. And it's mostly because the SIUE battery is pretty well set. Duran and Aiden Barrera mostly occupying the area behind the dish. 2 catchers is already enough.
Here's the 2-2, right back to the screen. We'll do it again. And one of the things you notice in baseball and in softball, a lot of times you will, if you have an extra catcher or 2 and they've got some athleticism, you'll put them in right field because you want your strongest arm out in right field. And Limburger's got a very good arm. And she's played a pretty good right field. The error in the 1st inning today notwithstanding, she's been pretty good out there in right field.
Really all season in right field, limited issues.
2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a foul ball down the first base side. And for the Cougars, that outfield, Fahey, Harville, Limburger, they all have plus arms at those outfield positions. We've seen Harville and Fahey show them off here today.
And you missed it last week. Limburger was showing it off last week. Back against Morehead State.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. That's a drive, deep left field. Way back it goes. It's gone. Harley Limburger, a solo blast here in the 5th. And it's 12-4. She got all of that one.
Limburger makes this a 1 swing of the bat game with that one as well.
Number 13.
The Cougars need 1 more run to extend this past 5 innings and give them a chance to rally.
1 out, we can take a look at the game track. It's brought to you by United Fidelity Bank, serving their communities since 1914. Now, I do feel bad for Rylan Gick. We made this about 2 minutes ago. and she's got to add an earned run to that tally, make it 4.1 innings pitch with 4 hits, an earned run, and 6 strikeouts. Fahey and Duran were the only 2 players with some notable at-bats today until Limburger just stepped to the plate. 2 for 2 with a double and a single for Fahey, 1 for 2 with a double and a pop-out for Duran. But I think Strain has been one of the better players for SIUE today, pitching or batting, for that specific reason. Ullman has been arguably one of the bigger impacts with the grand slam earlier, but the difference is for SIUE now with Limburger, it's a 1-run game, or 1 run.
1 run until this game can get extended, and you give yourself a chance to rally.
Exactly.
And for Strain, you have to. That's a tough spot to put a freshman in. You're down, and you're basically saying to her, "You're going to eat this game. Go out there and throw some innings." And she has kept Eastern Illinois at bay, 3 shutout innings in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
It's also a great momentum builder for the team. This is not the only game of the series. It's not only the only game of the series, it's not only the only game of today. We've got another one scheduled for 2:30.
And you're saving the arms of Arwood and Volpert for the remainder of this series. And Michaela Anderson only threw, what, an inning and 2/3, an inning and a third?
Yeah.
So she'll be a little bit fresh too, and you know she'll bounce back. She's been very good this year, just struggled today. So Strain really kind of
freed up the rest of the order.
Frees up the arms in that Cougar bullpen. That misses, and it's now 3-1 on Harville with 1 out in the 5th. Cougars looking to extend this game past the 5th. An 8-run lead for Eastern Illinois. The Cougars have been very good in the late innings this year. Off the hands, fouled back. The Cougars had scored 17 runs in the 4th, 15 in the 5th, and 18 in the 7th. There's a strikeout.
Final out.
2 down for Torres. She's reached twice. She was hit by a pitch both times and actually scored runs both times she reached base. Torres now wearing that brace over that left elbow. We talked about it earlier. She's been hit right above that left elbow twice. Now she's wearing the brace in this at-bat. Fouls it off. Hit by pitch 7 times this year, leads the OVC. 2 down in the 5th. Eastern Illinois 1 out away from a run rule victory in Game 1. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2, and now they're a strike away. Gick a strike away from 2 straight complete game wins in conference play. Here comes the 0-2. Ground ball to shortstop. Scooped up there and fired across, and Eastern Illinois takes Game 1 of this 3-game series, and they are in first place all by themselves in the OVC at 7-0, an 8-game winning streak, and Eastern Illinois wins it 12-4.
Lone team remaining undefeated in the OVC. Not only the only team in first place as they stand alone, but a stellar day for Rylan Gick. She gets the win. Tentatively, it will be Michaela Anderson with the loss. Gave up 6 runs, only 4 of them earned, but them's the breaks, as they say.
First earned runs of the season. For Dan Roedier, my name's Randy Molman, and for the rest of our ESPN crew here at SIUE, we say so long from Cougar Field, but not for long. We'll be back with Game 2 of this doubleheader here shortly. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Tune in in just a few minutes. We'll have Game 2 of today's doubleheader coming up next on ESPN.